I'm glad to finally meet you in person, guests from the Astral Express. I'm Fei Xiao, the general of the Xianzhou Yaocheng.
Let me introduce our guest to you. The one dressed in green.
He's the reincarnation of Imbibiter Lune, and the person behind him is the newest member of the crew. I've heard a lot about you. Outside the reports from the Lawfu, the Skyfaring Commission of the Yaoqing has also gathered plenty of information about both of you. I've been eager to meet you face to face for reasons that I'm sure. That's right. But don't worry, this isn't a trial. I just want to have a chat with you and get a better understanding of the fact. According to General Jing Yuan's report, the Ruin Legion is to blame for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, and all Arbiter Generals should pay attention to the Ruin Author's movements. Over the years, the Destruction's minions have wreaked havoc on countless worlds, and the Alliance has been keeping an eye on them. But no one expected them to join hands with the remnants of the Abundance. The damage caused by the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was far less severe than expected, which is good news for us. However, while I trust the bravery of the Divine Foresight and the Nameless, I'm curious about some details missing from the report. Let me be clear, the questions I'll ask might not reflect my actual thoughts, so please don't take offense if any.
Please go ahead, General. But keep in mind we can only answer based on what we know. And perhaps you already have the answers to your questions in your heart.
You have a clever tongue.
So Merlin's claw is quite articulate. Right now, her intentions are unknown, and Jing Yuan wants us to be honest.
Let's cut to the chase. Before the crisis struck, the Astral Express was guided here by a Stellaron hunter. However, everyone in the cosmos knows of the Stellaron hunter's reputation.
Apart from the Lawfu, there are many other worlds suffering from Stellaron corrosion. For example, Urilo 6, the world that the Express stopped at before reaching the Lawfu, was one of them.
To the Express, Stellarons act as roadblocks on the Silver Rail and pose risks to the warping process. And that's why dealing with Stellaron issues is part of the duty of the Nameless.
Ah, I've heard about those problems caused by Stellarons. The Express connects various worlds, so it makes sense for you to take care of this. The cosmos is a mess, and the Trailblazers are just doing their best to fix it. Let's move on to the next question. The report suggests that Don Shu, the master of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, colluded with the Lord Ravager and used the power of the Stellaron to... But here's the thing. Don Shu was just a chief alchemist. Even if she colluded with our enemies and summoned the Stellaron...
I personally met Don Shu once. Her closest friend was killed during the war on the Fanghu, and she harbored deep hatred towards the hunt.
Revenge is also a form of the hunt. However, that doesn't explain how she managed to bring the Stellaron into the Scale Gorge waterscape.
Well, you should ask Don Shu herself for the answer.
Unfortunately, Don Shu is dead, and even her corpse has crumbled into ash. According to the report, Lord Ravager Fantilia is the mastermind behind the She disguised herself as an ambassador of the Skyfaring Commission and traveled with you. Only...
Back then, we were working with Diviner Fu, and she also witnessed Fantilia's true form. You're not going to doubt one of your own people, are...
Of course not. We can trust the testimony of Master Diviner Fu Xuan. However, even if she saw it with her own eyes, we can't completely rule out the possibility that she might have been deceived. Oh, it seems that your answers have addressed all my questions. Generals, I am finished with my questions.
So, what do you think, General Fei Xiao?
The two Nameless have been honest in their answers. Even though there are some tricky details, my intuition tells me there is nothing wrong. However, the 3 questions I posed earlier were not just for the Nameless. First, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus grew uninterrupted on the Lawfu, yet the six charioteers were not aware of it. Second, you believed in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy and entrusted outsiders to solve the crisis, even granting them access to the Plague Mark. Third, you insist on holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, putting the Lawfu back in the spotlight. That is a dereliction of wisdom.
Merlin's Claw. Is this your line of thinking? Or the Ten Lords?
From the moment I walked in, I made it clear that the questions I'd ask might not reflect my actual thoughts.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus were deeply rooted and had been plotting for a long time. I admit it was my negligence for not noticing it earlier. As for the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy, I didn't believe all of it, but in the end, the Lawfu did survive the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. So, I think it's safe to say that Elio's prophecy about the future holds some merit. And as for the war dance, do you think I'm unaware of the risks? However, risks can also be opportunities. The Lawfu has lain low for too long.
Just as I expected from our sophisticated divine foresight. But, unfortunately, ever since the report was submitted, the Alliance has been filled with rumors and speculation.
So what are your thoughts on all of this, General Fei Shao?
As a fellow Arbiter General, I fully understand the difficulties of this position. Personally, I think all these rumors are meaningless drivel. Across the sea of stars, the divine foresight knows better than anyone else what happened on the Lawfu, and just as what happened on the Xianzhou Yaoqing recently.
You mean the Xianzhou Yaoqing is also...
The scouts of the Verdant Knights have sent back reports that Borisin are making trouble again. The Borisin packs that were once divided and scattered have started swallowing each other up.
An entity?
According to the report, this entity isn't actually a Borisin. It's a woman claiming to be the messenger of the Master of Immortality.
That's Ventilia.
That's right. You're lucky that I'm the one who came this time. If it were the Patina Justice or the Seer Strategist, this conversation might not be so friendly. I've always had faith in my instincts, so I don't doubt your good intentions. But the Alliance has its fair share of questions and doubts about the Lawfu.
What's in this plan, General Fei Shao?
General Jing Yuan, you already know what has to be done. But since you don't want to be the bad guy, I'll take care of it for you. And for that, I'll have to ask the two Nameless to visit the Shackling prison. No, I'm not imprisoning you. While you're there, I'll ask a judge in the 10 Lords Commission's Interrogation Division to record a detailed testimony with the karmic mirror from both of you.
I'm okay with that.
Your willingness to help is truly heartwarming, youngsters.
Then, as the Merlin's Claw requests...
Oh, there's one more thing. This testimony is for silencing the voices of opposition within the Alliance. But I would like to urge General Jing Yuan to listen to the pleas of the Foxians on the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
So, you are here for Hule.
Exactly. Hule is locked up in the Lawfu's Shackling prison. Since he is the Broodlord of the Borisin, I want to transfer him onto the Xianzhou Yaoqing and imprison him there.
It makes sense to have the Foxians keep an eye on their arch-nemesis. Since you trust my judgment, I'll repay that trust. What do you think about all this, General Huayan?
I was worried this would turn into a heated argument, but it seems like both of you are on the same page.
And as for Hule, I'll send my lieutenants Zhao Chou and Moza to check on his condition in prison and ready him for transport. Do you actually believe in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy?
Yes, I do. That's why I'm here.
I understand. While words can be deceiving, your gaze, your breathing, and your scent, I trust my intuition more than any words.
Well, I'm glad we managed to talk this out.
I'm really sorry about all this. But the testimony in the shackling prison won't take up much of your... I'll call for a messenger to take you to the interrogation division. You just need to give your testimony, and then you can head back.
As you wish, General.
As General Jing Yuan requested, everything is prepared for your arrival, and I am here to receive you. The judges at the interrogation division also know your purpose in coming.